Welcome back to the Simply Aroma Consultant Training Series. Last week we covered follow-up and closing your party the night of your party. And this week we're going to focus on sponsoring. I want to teach you a few more specific tools that are going to make it easy to share your opportunity during your parties, as well as give you some tips for generating interest outside of your hosts and your parties. When we talked about creating your opportunity commercial, and I shared my commercial with you, at the end of my commercial, I referenced a gift that I had for anybody who might be interested in my opportunity. I want to talk about that today and how you can use it to make it easier to connect and share your opportunity. This tool works great for sharing with those who either express an interest verbally on the guest care card, or who just seem as though they really would be good at your business and you want to connect with them and approach them. I call it the opportunity gift bag, and it's a simple concept. Handing someone a gift is much more powerful and easy than handing them a brochure. It creates value for you because it's obvious that you've put effort and thought into it, and that in turn makes it easier to follow up. My gift bags were simply beautiful gift bags that I got at the dollar store or a craft store with some tissue. Of course, you're going to want to put any company recruiting material or anything that you've developed for recruiting into the bag. That would include any brochures or media material. But what's more important than those things, believe it or not, is how you'll make this gift more special by putting in some items that are personal and make the person receiving the gift feel special and pampered. Here are a few great ideas. You can enclose a tea bag, some chocolate kisses, a votive candle, and bath salts, and a recipe for relaxation card, and encourage them to relax, sit back, and think about joining your business. The possibilities are endless. Be creative. You can also pre-write a card with a generic message, and if you have time, you can sneak away and write "Dear Karen" on the card before you give her the gift. Now, if someone approaches you at the end of your party for more information, it's really simple to hand them the gift. You can also use this with someone who hasn't requested it by simply handing her the gift before she leaves the party with the words, "Hey, I've got a gift for you. Enjoy, and I'll follow up in a day or two." That's it. Don't give her any detail about what's inside that bag. See, part of the reason this idea is so powerful is because there's an element of mystery. See, she's walking out thinking, wow, I wonder what's in the bag. I guarantee she's going to get in her car, drive 2 blocks, pull over, and rip into it to find out. These are also great to have with you when you're out and about in case you meet someone who's interested in learning more about what you do. Then, and this is the most important part, when you follow up, and you've got to follow up, so I'd recommend making sure that you've got a time to call them, that you set up ahead of time with them when they're expecting you to call within a few days. When you do that, you've created value for yourself, and you have a reason to call other than, "Did you have a chance to look at my brochure?" Instead, you're connecting on a more personal level. Did you enjoy the chocolate? Did you take your relaxing bath? I love this concept because it truly makes it easy to follow up with potential team members. We've talked a little bit in previous trainings about sponsoring your host, but I did want to cover what to do specifically during the host coaching appointment itself to make sure you're clear with your host about the benefits of your business and how easy it would be for her to join and get started. During the last 5 to 10 minutes of your host coaching appointment, whether you're doing that in person or over the phone, make it your business principle to share your opportunity. Now, I know your initial response to this might feel uncomfortable, but that's really about you, and so I want to invite you to just feel a little bit uncomfortable and do it anyway. Never prejudge a host. Assume everyone is either interested in your opportunity or knows someone who might be interested. Keep the focus of this sharing on you. So many of my clients worry about coming off as pushy, and they don't want to make their host feel uncomfortable, so they never share their opportunity. If you begin by letting her know that you have a passion for your business and that all you want to do is share that because she may know someone for whom this really is an answered prayer, You take the focus of your desire to recruit her off of her. Use your personal story, the one that we talked about earlier, which shares with her how you got started, and then tell her what you love about your job. Unlike your story at the beginning of your party, when I specifically advised against sharing your opportunity, in this situation, it's completely appropriate. So this is basically a combination of your story and your opportunity commercial. When you're done sharing, tell her you just want her to think about whether or not she might enjoy doing what you do between now and her party. If she decides she wants to do this, she can let you know the night of her party, and you'll turn that into her kickoff party. That means she gets all the bookings, and she'll be on her way. Now, I wanted all of my hosts walking out of the host coaching appointment thinking about this so that they would be considering it before their party. Now, if she says no, ask her if she knows anyone who's working for daycare and taxes who might like to have a cup of coffee with you and learn more about how your opportunity could help them. If you've done your job right in the beginning of the coaching appointment, she's going to trust you enough to want to refer someone to you. So what about sponsoring outside of your hosts and your parties? Well, let's look at some ways that you can increase interest and share your opportunity when you're out and about just living your regular life. Let me just start by saying that your natural enthusiasm for your new business, your product, and your company is really the best sponsoring mojo that you have. If you just share that enthusiasm, no matter what the situation, I think you're going to generate interest and you're going to begin to sponsor naturally. But I want to give you a few ideas for how to give that interest a little nudge. The first thing, and probably the most important part of errand advertising, as I call it, is to always look your best when you're out and about, or at least presentable. So you don't necessarily have to dress as though you're attending a party or hosting a party, but make sure that your clothing is neat and pressed and clean and attractive. You know, do your hair, put on a little makeup, don't appear as though you've just rolled out of bed or have been, painting the house. A little goes a long way here. With errand advertising, you're basically representing your business. So you want strangers and future customers to believe that you run a neat and tidy business. You do have to appear fairly neat and tidy for that to happen. Your personality is really important. Whether you're talking to a burned out grocery clerk, the woman behind you in line at the bank, or even your own children in public, personality is very important when you're advertising your business because you're advertising you. So if you have a negative or a bad attitude, or you're cranky or unfriendly or unapproachable, it's not going to do much to further your goals. Instead, remember to smile often, make positive comments, and reprimand your children publicly if you have to, in a manner that doesn't convey how you're sort of a stressed out, frustrated person. People are naturally attracted to positive people. When you radiate positive confidence, other people instinctively want to do business with you. Think about toting along your catalogs. I think the most important part of errand advertising is to actually advertise that you are a consultant. One of the most effective ways to do this is to purchase a bag with clear pockets on the outside, and that's built specifically to hold your catalogs. You place a catalog or a brochure in the window of that tote, and then you use it as your purse. Now, I've seen these totes that come in a variety of sizes. They can even be custom ordered, but you don't really have to do that. Just find a simple one. And then as you go about your errands, potential customers are going to see that you're a Simply Aroma consultant. And if they're interested in you and your products, then they're going to approach you and possibly even ask for a catalog. Now, this is the exact response that you're looking for, but I want to caution you to not just give your catalogs away. Instead, tell your customers in a sort of cheeky way that you trade catalogs. So let them know that you're going to give them a catalog in exchange for their business card or their name and phone number. If they don't have a business card, you can just write their name and their email address, their phone number down on the back of one of your cards, and make sure that you give them one of your cards as well. That way, they have what they want, which is a catalog, and you have what you want, which is a contact you can follow up on. Since your product really needs to be experienced to be valued, make sure that you tell them, that you let them know when you give them that catalog, that you really have to smell and experience your products to feel the full effect. Then see if you can talk them into a party or even a private consultation so that you can really share your products and the experience that they create. You can also let your car do the talking. Probably the easiest way to advertise your Simply Aroma business while you're running around doing errands every day is to purchase a vinyl decal for your car. These decals are very inexpensive and they can be custom made to advertise whatever information you want. So first and foremost, you want your Simply Aroma company name in big bold letters. After that, you can choose to include your telephone number and/or your website address. Make sure that you measure your car's back window to see how large your decal should be, and get your letters done in white. Now, everywhere you go, your car is going to be advertising for you. Here are your action steps for this week. First, put together at least 5 opportunity gift bags. Script out the language for sharing your opportunity at the end of your host coaching appointments with your host. Decide how you'll errand advertise your new business and do what you need to do to make that happen. That wraps it up for this week. Next week, we'll be covering some simple tips to make it easier to get on the phone. Until then, keep taking simple steps every day to learn and integrate all that you can in your business. I'll look forward to connecting with you next week.